Hey guys, Kasem here. So in this video, I'm going to go over the top 3 mistakes that I see SEOs make most commonly. So these are mistakes that are really hurting people's ability to rank, like even the potential to rank, and can also be hindering you from getting higher in the SERPs potentially. Like if you're top 10, you're on the first page, but you just can't crack the top 5, top 3, something like that. So we'll go into a lot of detail. Without further ado, I'm going to hop into the computer and talk to you guys there. Okay, guys, so as I said, 3 most common SEO mistakes that I see. These are obviously, there's so many mistakes that happen in SEO, but I just want to condense it and focus on some of the big ones that if you fix these, your chances of ranking your site or your client sites are going to really just skyrocket. So without further ado, let's get into it. First one that I see is anchor text over optimization. So this, for you seasoned guys, intermediate guys, this is not something new. Happens all the time that you may have already encountered with yourself. So with anchor text over optimization, what's happening is people are going way overboard with exact and partial match anchors. So exact anchor is like if your keyword is Chicago dentist, then your exact match anchor is Chicago dentist. Simple as that. Partial match would be like good dentist would be a partial match because it has one of the keywords in it. So that would be a partial match. So really all you need is just one exact match anchor for any given page. So if your page was for Chicago dentist, then you'd only need to send it once. If even that. You could get away with like finding a good dentist, or are you looking for a dentist in Chicago, which is kind of a little less exact, if you get what I'm saying, because it's not simply just Chicago dentist. It's in that partial territory where it's adding a couple keywords onto that to make it a little bit more natural. So really all you need is one of those where you have the Chicago and dentist both in like both your keywords, if you're ranking for multiple keywords, in that anchor text. And then this is especially true, the anchor text over optimization is for exact match domains and partial match domains. So when your domain is named chicagodentist.com, then you don't really need to send those exact match anchors unless the caveat is if you're trying to make the brand name Chicago Dentist. So like if like any brand name like Digital Gladiator, that's obviously our brand name and that's the domain name reflects that. So if you want to make your brand name and kind of trick in quotation marks Google into thinking that your domain and your brand is named Chicago Dentist, then in that case you go for exact match anchors because that's your brand name, right? So it's kind of, that's a high risk, high reward play where if it goes right, then you're going to be ranking very easily, very quickly. But if it goes wrong, then your site's just going to be filtered / penalized. You're not going to rank at all. So it's kind of a 50-50 play. If you do it right, then chances go up. If you do it wrong, chances go lower. So high risk, high reward. Do that at your own peril, at your own risk. But with partial match domains, that's more true as well because you already have, like, if you have lawyer in there, it's like toplawyers, right, .com. Then going for EMDs, exact match anchors in that case would not be as ideal. So you already have the one of the keywords, which is lawyers, in the domain name. So you don't really need to go with too many exact match anchors because Google knows that your page, what your page is about, what your domain's about. You already have the keyword in the domain name, URL, content, all that stuff. So not needed in that case. And then second one here, we got on-page over-optimization. So again, a little theme here, over-optimization. That's a big one that I'm seeing a lot these days because people don't realize that Google is super smart now. I mean, it's 2018, almost 2019 here. Google's super smart. They know what your content's about if you simply follow best practice with sprinkling your keywords in the content, a small amount, not too much, like a couple percentage points, and then just look at what your competition has and just basically replicate that. And then adding keywords into your headings, which is very important, and in the URL, the H1, H2 tags, and URL. Then Google knows what your page is about. So I recommend going conservative to start, and see where that takes you, and then test it later on if needed. If you're not ranking, maybe add in another keyword or two, sprinkle it in, and see where that takes you, see what the results are with that. You can't really go wrong with it because you're going conservative. You're not going to be penalized off the bat. A lot of people go way over optimized, and then they're wondering why their page is stuck on page 2 or 3 and not getting onto page 1, even if they're sending a lot of links to it. It's just not going to rank if it's too over optimized on page. Simple as that. And what I would recommend is, instead of overdoing the keyword itself, focus on LSIs, which are going to be things like that are pertaining to your niche. So you're using language that is specific for your niche. So if you're a lawyer and you have a law site, you're not going to be talking about patients, right? You're going to be talking about clients. So that's one indicator to Google. Okay, this is about law, clients. And then you're going to be talking about cases. Maybe you're going to sprinkle in a judge in there, keywords like that, lawsuit, whatever is pertaining to. Obviously, there are specific niches within law, so it can change from that, but the main ones, and using just natural language is all you need to do, and then you can then test it on later. But LSIs are a great way to make sure that your page is showing to Google this is about my topic without having a keyword in there. So I highly recommend that, and you should be using that if you're not already. So lastly here, we have not enough link diversity. So this is one that I wanted to cover, one that's a little less talked about. Other two are talked about a decent amount, but this one is not that much. So what I mean by not enough link diversity is you're only linking to your money pages, the pages that you're trying to rank. So you're trying to rank for Chicago dentist, New York dentist, and LA dentist, right? You're trying to rank those 3 pages. Just linking to those 3 pages is not going to be enough. You want to make supporting pages for those money pages, like what pricing you should expect from a lawyer in Chicago. What is the common win rate in divorces between males and females, stuff like that. Just information that is gonna make your site look like an authority and give value to the reader. And then from those pages, you link to a relevant money page that you have, because those are supporting content for that money page. So you link to the money page from your article, and then what you go ahead and do is send a PBN or send a guest post link to that supporting page, or multiple links, and that juice that goes to that page will boost your overall domain authority, and then it also will pass over and it'll flow over to your money page as well, and power that up without sending a direct link to that, which is it's a very underrated tactic, and I don't see too many people using that. So highly recommend that, and it also helps protect you from potentially getting penalized or make it look a little shady that your one money page has like 20 links to it, and then the rest of your site has no links to it. It just doesn't look natural, it looks a little fishy. So again, highly recommend that. And then a little bonus tip here at the end is another meaning to not having enough link diversity would be that you're using only one type of link. So say you only use PBNs. While that can work, it's not the most optimal, in my opinion, where if you have things like citations, PBNs, some guest posts, a press release, those things, when you're diversifying like that, it's sending a lot of positive signals, especially if all these are high quality. That's the caveat there. If they're high quality, then it's sending a lot of positive signals to Google that this site is a legitimate site, it's an authoritative site, it's getting links from a lot of sites that are high value sites, especially with those guest posts, and then using PBNs just for those powerful anchors is what I recommend, like those exact matches, the partial matches, using PBNs for those, and the guest posts for more of the branded type, then it is really awesome. So that's going to be it for the video, guys. Let me know if you enjoyed it. Plan to make more videos of this sort, and I'll see you in the next one.